Judge Clay Jenkins, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. So, new year, new commissioners court, and this time you've got all Democrats on the court. You've had Democratic votes, obviously. Democrats were in the majority for many years already. How is this year going to be different, do you think?
Well, I think it's going to be a great year. This is a very pragmatic and moderate court, and I think they're going to focus on the issues that are important to the people of Dallas County and North Texas.
What are your priorities? We've heard a lot about property taxes being too high. Where are you on that?
Well, of course, as you know, I always try to keep property taxes low. I've sought to cut the property tax rate every year I've been elected. I think that one of the best ways that we can keep our economy strong and our property taxes low is to focus on keeping families safe and healthy. There's three major things that I think we can do across jurisdictions, including cities and school districts and hospital organizations, healthcare organizations. We've got to look, number one, at early childhood, whether that's expanding the programs that the county is currently expanding, getting others help to do it, like our visiting nurses with newborn moms of at-risk births at Parkland. But it's also good quality childcare, getting that good quality childcare seat for those youngest kids, getting more kids in pre-K at 3 and 4. That not only puts the kid on a great path to success, it allows the parents, the young parents, to re-enter the workforce, and we need them in that workforce. And then when we look at our young people in particular, but also everyone, we're seeing a real crisis in mental health care right now. 90% of Americans on a CNN poll said that mental health care is a crisis. And so looking for ways to expand that mental health care access to make sure that when people go into their primary care physician, they're asked those mental health questions. And for the county to focus on mental health the way we focused on COVID and HIV and other infectious diseases to make sure people get the help that they need. And then third, I think we've got to do more in criminal justice for criminal justice reform. Right now for the county, I think the main thing the county can do is the county runs that jail, and we're about 1,000 to 1,500 people higher in jail population than we were pre-COVID. That limits the ability to hold the most dangerous suspects in jail for as long as we'd like to hold them. And it leads us to having more people in jail that really don't need to be there. They could be back out with their families and at their jobs. And so we got to work with everyone, including the state, who needs to pick their prisoners up to get that to happen. And we're going to do that. Those are three big things that are really my focus in visiting with other jurisdictions of how we're going to improve on those things, because those are three drivers of success for us, not just this year, but over the next 4 years and beyond. Now, we'll still keep doing the good things that we do in affordable housing and trails and roads and all that. But those three drivers, and talking to my school superintendents and others, and mental health folks and CEOs of hospitals, those three drivers can really drive this economy and drive a better standard of life and better quality of life.
And the county's role in that, I mean, because school districts play a role in some of that as well, perhaps cities, or is this really a county focus?
Well, it's all of us. So for instance, the county just put $4 million into expanding the visiting nurse program for our youngest moms to get the health and the training they need to be successful with at-risk young people. With the pre-K, it's both the county and the city and of course the school districts, because at the Workforce Solutions Board of Greater Dallas, where I'm the chief elected officer, we have about $200 million a year budget, and most of that goes towards childcare. So can we fashion a way for our childcare agencies to do some of that pre-K work for our 3-year-olds so that those kids can stay at the childcare place after they finish their pre-K courses? So that makes it more appealing to mom to drop them there and allows mom to get back in the workforce. Can we do more to get our more kids into quality pre-K at the 4-year level? That's going to put more people back in the workforce and help those kids. You know, kids who do well with childcare and pre-K at 3 and 4 are much more likely to be reading at grade level at the third grade. And if you're reading at grade level at the third grade, you're much more likely to graduate from high school and go on to get a good living wage job.
I wanted to ask you about the state legislature, which, as you know, is going to be coming into session next week. And what is your message to lawmakers, many of whom are very focused on reducing property taxes?
So we need to work together to reduce property taxes. Property taxes are way too high. And the state needs to do its part. You know, the state, it's kind of been a shell game of unfunded mandates to the counties and the cities, which they then have to pay for, and there's no money to pay for it. So we got to do our part to keep property taxes low, which means using some of that huge surplus at the state for property tax relief. But we don't want to sleep on the major issues that are affecting our present and our future, our workforce and our quality of life. Look, there's been a sea change, Jack, in what parents worry about from the time you and I were kids, and they were worried about us going out to a kegger or smoking cigarettes or having unprotected sex. All right. Now the major concerns that parents have on surveys are, my child's anxious, my child's depressed, I'm worried that my child may hurt themselves. That all falls into this mental health situation. And we do have a real problem with substance abuse, particularly opioids here, but we've got to address those things too. It can't be all, I love low property taxes, but it can't be all low property taxes. It's got to be getting our kids ready to succeed in life, keeping our families safe. And that includes mental health. And so we've really, really got to focus on that. COVID exposed a lot of those inequities, those disparities. It worsens some of those issues that people have with mental health and in some cases with substance abuse. And so we got to focus on that like we did across the state, the city, the county, and everyone on COVID. We fought to beat COVID. And sometimes we had to fight with each other to do it, but we fought to beat COVID. Now we got to fight to put mental health at the front and early childhood at the front of what we're doing so that we can build a sort of system that can allow our children and everyone to succeed.
Judge Clay Jenkins, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time and your insight.
I appreciate you, Jack. Take care.